Alright, this is John Kohler from DiscountJuicers.com, and I'm going to give you the update on the Omega Vert juicer. So, I've been using this for a couple months now. I think it's still a really great juicer, but there has been a couple things that have come up with it, and I want to go over that with you right now. So if you want to get a close-up on this, one of the problems that people are having is that, the problems with assembling the juicer and disassembling the juicer. So we're going to go over that right now. It's real simple. So the first thing is that when you assemble the juicer, you want to just basically take this top piece and, you're going to line up these three holes with the three on the bottom there. So it's really easy. Usually this red dot is off to the left side. You put that in place and then you turn it to lock it in place. Just turn it to the right. The next thing you do is you're going to take the screen assembly with the wiping blades. And I did want to point out, I did discover that these wiping blades come out really easy to clean, because I have noticed that there will get gunk stuck into these wiping blades. And let me show you how easy it is to clean these wiping blades. Basically, you take the long part of the wiping blade, grab it, and then pull it down. And if you pull it down, what will happen is it'll just pop out. Then you pull the bottom part up, you'll get this piece out. This is 100% food-grade silicone that you could basically take out, and then now you'll be able to wash, inside of this piece, because I have noticed crud gets stuck in there. And then to put it back in, you literally just do the same thing. You put it down, and then you push this down, and then you basically push it back up. Really simple, really easy to do that. Next, you just basically take this piece and you put it into the screen. Once again, there's a red dot on the screen, and you want to line up that red dot with the red dot on the housing here. And the other way to line it up too is where this the outlet for the pulp, you want to inset that where it goes in down here. The other thing I want to point out too is there's a flap here that you need to put in, and be careful not to lose each time you're done juicing. And this basically flap, there's two sides of the flap. There's a flat side and a curved side. So the flat side always goes down to the base of the juicer. You're just going to put that in, and you want to stick that flap all the way in. If you don't stick the flap all the way in, you're not going to get as high of a yield. Basically what this flap does, it allows the pulp to stay in the juicer to get a full press so that you'll get the most and highest yield. And if you don't put it in all the way, the pulp is going to come out prematurely, and you're not going to get the highest yield that you could get. So you want to stick the flap in all the way as much as you can. So here's the flap. It is in all the way. Next part, we're going to take and put this back in place, line up your little red dots. Then you're going to take and you're going to push the auger in place. You want to make sure when you clean the auger, everything comes out of this part. If there's any extra produce stuck in here, it will not allow for the machine to be assembled properly. So we're going to put the auger in. No need to line up the auger. You just want to push it in place. You might have to rotate a little bit while you're pushing down. The last part, and there has been some people with some challenges with this, is you want to line up the dot on here, or the little arrow on here with the red dot. It's real easy. You can see, oops, they're lined up right there, and you just basically turn it to the right. And then when you turn it to the right, this piece will also be aligned with the closed. And that's how it is to assemble it properly. If you maybe assemble it not properly, it may get stuck. There have been a couple times when I'm juicing really hard things, and it does get stuck. So I do recommend, if it does ever get stuck on you, sitting down, maybe we'll sit down over here, and actually put the machine between your legs on a chair, and then basically if you rotate, the housing off, then it'll come apart. So sometimes it may get stuck. If you're juicing a lot of especially leafy greens or something like that, it may get stuck, but put it between your legs, and then you'll be able to twist the machine apart and take it apart. A lady wanted me to juice some Persimmons for whatever reason. She said the real test of a juicer is to juice Persimmons. So when you're juicing Persimmons, what you want to do is you want to, not juice the top green part of the persimmon. So we're going to cut basically around that and cut that piece off, but we're going to juice the rest. So why don't we get started on the juicing, turn it on, and we're literally going to drop in hard persimmons. Now, you want to always juice the Fuyu persimmons. These are the flat persimmons. You do not want to juice the high chia or acorn type persimmons. If you do that, you're going to make yourself a mouthful of pucker juice. And so you don't want a mouthful of pucker juice unless, you know what, you're playing a joke on your friends. Then you can make them a mouthful of pucker juice. So use the hard high chip persimmons if you want a pucker juice. We're not making pucker juice today, so we're going to use the the Fuyu flat persimmons. One of the other things that I've noticed and learned about the Omega Vert juicer is that, you know, it's best for juicing a variety of produce. So, you know, one of the customers had a challenge with, he wanted to juice straight ginger. He tried to juice 2 pounds of ginger. Now, ginger root is very hard. And, you know, ginger, after juicing so much of it straight, bound up in the machine, and the machine no longer worked. And so I wouldn't recommend this juice for doing straight ginger juice. On the same token, I have had customers that want to juice straight kale, for example. And, you know, I think straight green juice is good. You know, maybe in the Omega Vert, it's maybe not so good. You might want to do like the Omega 8003, 4, 5, or 6. If you want to do straight kale, it's going to work a little bit better. This juicer is definitely good. I mean, with this style auger, it's definitely good for the hard vegetables. So the carrots, the beets, along with things like celery and kale mixed in. And when you are juicing, don't just juice all your kale and then all your celery. Do like a leaf of kale, a stalk of celery, some cucumber, a carrot, and then keep rotating. So don't just do all carrots. Keep mixing it up, and this juicer will just keep spitting out the juice and work without problem. With that, we're going to start juicing the persimmons, and we're going to see how this machine works on juicing 100% persimmon juice. And you know what? This is a real treat for me because I normally never juice persimmons. They're just too good for me to waste on making a juice out of them. So you know what? This is a world's first. I'm gonna, for the first time in my life, drink persimmon juice. Now persimmons are very healthy for us. They are high in carotenoids. You know, much like the carrot is high in carotenoids, the carrot's orange. Well, this is another orange piece of produce. And so if you eat too many persimmons, you know, you might turn orange. And I'm not kidding. Well, you'll get a little bit, well, you can see my hands are a little bit orange tinged due to all the persimmon eating I've been eating this season. But that'll also happen with carrots, you know, and it's a good thing. You know, every cell in your body will absorb these carotenoids, and basically the carotenoids protect you from things like the sun. So let's feed some more persimmons in here. Now, you know what? This pulp looks pretty dang dry to me. Want to get a close-up on the persimmon juice. I mean, look at that persimmon juice coming out. It's like so orange. It looks like carrot juice. I mean, this would be a real treat for somebody to make persimmon juice. Now, I always recommend, you know, eating your fruits or blending your fruits whole and juicing your vegetables. Now, why is that, John? Well, the reason is because when you're juicing your fruits, basically, you're getting a sugar water. Not that that's not good. Sugar, fruit juice is definitely better than Coca-Cola or other, you know, processed sugar waters on the market. But, you know, I recommend eating your fruits. I mean, persimmons to me are so good. They're just best. I gotta do it. Eat them straight. Otherwise, if you don't want to eat them straight, blending is a really good thing, because when you blend your fruits, you get the fruit, you get the sugar, and you get the fiber all in one. And what the juicer does is it extracts the fiber from the juice. And when you take away the fiber, basically the fiber regulates the absorption of the sugar into our bloodstream. You're going to get a sugar rush when you're drinking persimmon juice. Now, not that that's a bad thing, you know. Once again, it's always good, better, best, and persimmon juice is better than drinking a soda or drinking a processed juice from the store. Making your fresh juice is always best, but I'd recommend eating your fruit whole or blending it. Now, sometimes you might want to make a vegetable juice and, you know, put an apple or two or some kind of fruit in there for some sweetness, and you know what? That's cool. I'd highly recommend that, and that's where a juicer really shines. You know, when we want to juice things like kale and things like that we really can't digest too well. So here we have literally 2 cups of persimmon juice, and I think I started off with, well, I can count the tops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I had 6 persimmons. So 6 persimmons made us 2 cups, so basically 3 persimmons made us 1 cup of persimmon juice. And now, you know what? I'm going to enjoy some fresh made persimmon juice. World's first. I've never had fresh persimmon juice in my life. Wow. It's amazing. So, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Persimmon juice in the Omega Vert. And the consensus is, yes, no problem, works great. And be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.